Hello, and welcome to the Useless Ideas podcast. I am Matthew Churchill, as always, but this week we will not be having Curtis Smith on the episode because due to time restraints for both him and I, we won't be able to actually record on our normal day nor the day before. So right now, today is Friday, March the 3rd, 23rd, rather. Friday, March the 23rd. And when this is posted, this should be the 25th of March. So recording a couple days in advance. So yeah, as I said, there's been a couple time restraints. For me, the reason why I can't really record tomorrow is I'm out for the most of the day with my girlfriend, actually, to see a local, not local, but a WWE house show and the local arena, which is gonna be fun because we both are wrestling fans, and so yeah, that'll be fun. If you want to see how I react to it generally, go through my Twitter, which I should be saying at the end of this episode, and it should be in the description, like they always are. So what else? What else is new? Actually managed to finish. I started playing again Oakham Knight because when I got PS4. I think that was like the second game I bought for it. But then I got to a part in it, the part which you are up against the Oakham Knight, but you are in the sewers and he's in the excavator thingamabob. I couldn't get past that part because I completely sucked at the time at driving, at the driving portions. And but then I read somewhere of how to better control it, and all of a sudden I was a lot better at it. Managed to beat it a couple tries after realizing that trick. So I beat that game recently. I've been trying to do the Most Wanted stuff just to complete the game. I wouldn't really call myself a completionist in that sense, but I don't know. Sometimes when I finish games, I stick around in the game a little longer just to, if I can, if there's any post game, to do that type of thing. Just to kind of see what else is around, see what I missed during the actual game itself. So yeah, sometimes I do that. What else I've been playing? I recently playing a lot of League of Legends, as I usually am. I was playing a lot of ranked. What was it? Yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Had like a decent win streak going, 5-game win streak. So I got from that. I actually ranked up. I am now Bronze 1. So there's that. Bronze 1 now. So I'm still trash, but I'm not as trash. So yeah, there's that. And so what else? This is kind of an experience for me, as I've never actually done a solo podcast myself. Don't really know how to do this properly. So if this isn't that good of a quality, then my apologies. If I ever ramble and kind of do awkward pauses like that, then again, I apologize. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be a slightly shorter one than normal. So, as we said back in the sports one, I am a Leafs fan, so let's talk about the Leafs for a little bit then, I guess. Just a trifle time. Right now, Toronto is in third in the Atlantic, which is, they have been for quite a while. Except for that small brief stint in which they were slightly ahead of Boston. But yeah, they last night they had a game against Montreal, which was real fun game to watch if you're a Leafs fan. The scoring order, it was. Let me just pull up the game real quick. The scoring order for that game was in the first period, James Van Riemsdyk with his 34th of the season, which was actually his most goals in a single season for like in his entire career, which is great for him. Great for multiple reasons. One, just shows improvement. Two, this is his last year before he's an unrestricted free agent, so that just like putting an emphasis on how good he is, what his role is, and see. Basically, the Leafs will have to probably pay a lot in order to actually retain him come next season, and I think we probably will need his leadership. The Leafs will probably need his leadership come next season as well. But yeah, that was actually the only goal in the first period. In the second period, Nashville then tied the game up 1-1. Arvidsson with his 27th of the season, assisted by PK Subban. Oh yeah, the JVO goal, if you're interested, was assisted by Mitch Marner and Morgan Riley. Then Toronto pulled ahead again after the Arvidsson goal, with Austin Matthews' 29th of the season, and his first goal on his first game back from injury, which is the third time he's done that this season. And then after that, they pulled further again with 3-1, with William Nylander in his 16th of the season, assisted by the Matthews goal was assisted by Morgan Riley again and JVO. And then Nylander scored again, not again, but he scored 16th, as I said, assisted by Hyman and Dormont. And then the fourth goal was by Mitch Marner, his 20th of the season, assisted by Morgan Riley and Tyler Bozak. His Riley's third assist of the night, I believe. Yes, a third assist of the night, which is great. And then it was 5-1 with Jake Gardner's fifth goal of the season, assisted by Connor Brown and Tyler Bozak. And then, with about 4.5 minutes left, it was 5-2, still in favor of Toronto, obviously, with Hurtnell's 13th of the season, assisted by Mike Fisher, and Watson. So, as a Leafs fan, it was quite an entertaining game. But of course, as a Leafs fan, the last maybe 10 minutes were kind of stressful because it's the Leafs, and can be a little stressful when you have a lead going into the third. Has flashbacks to a handful of years ago, that playoff series against Boston. Yeah, that I still get flashbacks about that. But anyways, that was the last game. So basically, my takeaway from that game is that as long as they keep doing that, essentially getting an early lead, play aggressively defensive, if that makes sense. Still playing 2-score goals, but be a little bit more careful about it after the second or whatever, given that they are up. As long as they keep doing that, I think then they should have a good contention of soon clinching, because they have not quite clinched. They're 5 points behind Boston. So hopefully they actually clinch soon. But yeah, as long as they keep doing that, they should be fine. They have what? How many games do they have left? They have 8 games left, which isn't that long. Isn't that much games. It isn't that many games, rather. So their 8 games consist of, on Saturday, March 24th, which is tomorrow for me, yesterday for you guys, so you guys should know the score of that by the time this is posted. But Saturday, March 24th, They are in Detroit. And then Monday, March 26th, which is tomorrow for you guys, a couple days from now for me, it's in Buffalo. And then Wednesday, March 28th, it's in Florida. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. Those three are all home games. My bad. I misread that. All home games, so hopefully we should be fine, as we're on a 12-game home winning streak, I believe. So hopefully we can make it 15 with those 3 games. Then it's in New York, in Brooklyn, up against the Islanders. And then we're back home for a game against the Winnipeg Jets on the 31st. The Islanders game is on the 30th. So back-to-back game back-to-back games. Then Monday, April the 2nd, so the day after Easter, actually no, that's Easter Monday, what am I talking about? On Easter Monday, it is our last game against Buffalo. It is again at home. Then Thursday, April the 5th, it is in New Jersey. And then the last game of the season is against probably one of the best teams to actually finish the season off against, is at home against Montreal Canadiens. I say that because we have their number this season. It is probably a game that we can probably play backup. McElhaney. Can't believe I blanked on his name right there. But yeah, it's a game we can probably play him, and we should be fine. I'm not saying he's bad or anything. He's a great goalie, but just to give Anderson a little bit of rest, because first playoff game, assuming we make it, which we most likely will, should make a couple days rest for Anderson. Could, without it being too harsh on him, for being a long break, I believe it should start shortly after that. I would imagine probably start the 10th of April, maybe. Between the 10th and the 15th, I would imagine. Although it might be determined by the time this is up. I don't know. So yeah, that's that. If I were to actually before we move on, I think I should put my predictions. Not necessarily the scores of each game, but my predictions against win-losses, I guess. In the whole, if I were to be the most optimistic, most like hopeful of people, then I'd say we'd win against all of them. But truth be told, we would probably lose a couple of them. Like, okay, let's go by through each of them. Okay, against the Red Wings, I think that will probably tomorrow against the Red Wings. I'd hope. I actually kind of say based off of the Detroit games this year, if I remember correctly at least, should be an overtime win. Overtime win is what I expect. Although I'd shout at me if I'm wrong against that, because this should be up by the time this is done. Buffalo, I'd say that's a win in regulation. Florida, that's where I see the actual first loss to actually occur at home in a while. I just think Florida is going to win for some reason. I just have that itching feeling. And then beat the Islanders, then lose against the Jets, win against Buffalo again, lose to the Devils, win against Montreal. So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8 games, I'd say, will probably be what we win, I'd say, which is probably close to what's going to happen. Although, if I'm completely wrong on that, come back to this, comment down below, say, hey, dude, you fucked up, you mispredicted, I hate you, or something. I don't know. Nothing much more than that, though. Okay, got that? Whatever. You can say whatever you want. It's the internet. Everyone says whatever they want, anyways. Right? Yeah. Okay. So what else? Yeah, as I said earlier, I believe, I'm going to a WWE house show tomorrow, Saturday the 24th, or yesterday, Saturday 24th. Um, I hope that, let's see if I can pull up this, the code for the show if I can. Um, I hope it's a good enough show. For you who don't really pay attention to wrestling or the WWE, the house shows are not televised shows. They are shows which are put on in generally smaller arenas in not necessarily smaller towns, but towns that they probably won't gain as much traction or whatever, like where we live now, in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. But yeah, they're generally to help, not there to put on like the best matches, but they're there to basically help practice both in-ring ability, wrestling itself, and to help like promo work, to actually help them work against while talking the mic while in front of an actual audience, without the added pressure of being on television. And then yeah, so it's essentially practice. You know how like the spring training of the WWE without actually being televised or whatever. Although there's probably going to be a handful of people who are recording in the stands for whatever. There's no actual like story progression, well, not much of one, but the card itself is generally booked around the current storylines. So yeah, I can't see a full card here, but yeah, a lot of the big names are going to be there just to, like I said, practice and stuff. There's going to be a, wait a second, the event code here, this is probably not everything, but the advertised code right now is a 6-man tag team match. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman. So, The Shield minus Ambrose plus Braun Strowman versus The Miz and The Miztourage. Which should be a fun match, to be honest. If I were to take my bets now, it would probably be the Strowman Rollins Reigns winning. Although, if you are in the area and are watching it, then you should know by now. Or if you follow my Twitter, then you should probably know by the time this is up. Then there's a Raw Tag Team Championship match between Titus Worldwide, being Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews, versus The Bar, which is Sheamus and Cesaro. And then there's a Raw Women's Fatal 4-Way Championship match between Mickie James, Bayley, Alexa Bliss, which is the champion, and Nia Jax. Which I would expect Alexa to retain because this is a house show. And same thing goes with the Bar. I expect them to retain as it is a house show. And then there's also advertised, no shows, but no more matches are advertised on the site here, in which I'm looking at. But there is advertised for Finn Balor, Elias, Kalisto, the Good Brothers to be there. And they advertise Mickie James again, which is weird. But, you know, there's that. If you have seen pictures of me somewhere and then see me there, oh, actually, that's useless to say because this would have already happened. My bad. I was gonna say if you see me, say hi, but yeah, that's probably not gonna be the case because this would have happened tomorrow. My bad. I don't know if you've noticed, but on occasion I can be an idiot. Everyone has those moments, but I live those moments. So yeah, a question of the day today, probably, would be: have you been to like a live event that, what's your favorite live event that you've been to? Whether it be a WWE house show, hockey game of some sort, whether it be NHL, OHL, Q League, AHL, some football games, some baseball games, whatever. Which was your favorite? If I were to say my favorite, would probably be the first time I went to a house show when I was living in Halifax, because I was maybe 8 years old at the time. I was still a big believer in kayfabe, like without knowing that it was kayfabe. If you pay attention to wrestling at all, you know what that means. So I was still really invested in everything. I was emotional about shit when watching it, because as a kid I didn't know much better. I still don't know much better now, because while watching the show I still invest into it, like into kayfabe. But then afterwards, like, was that actually a good match? Would I have booked that the same, and whatnot? But yeah, I remember that a lot, because the main event of that show in Halifax was John Cena versus Randy Orton, if I remember correctly. And keep in mind, I was this 8-year-old, right? Big John Cena fan, right? Big John Cena fan at the time. And then this older guy, I can't quite remember how old he was, as I, one, didn't ask him, two, I don't have the best memory of what he looked like. But if I remember correctly, he looked to be between probably his early to mid-20s at the time. So by now he would probably be in his early to mid-30s, maybe? I don't know. Never got his name, but we basically had a yelling match between the two of us. And I was like, "Let's go, Cena! Let's go, Cena!" I was kind of in that part of the chant. And he was going completely opposite of what I was doing, because Randy Orton and John Cena were in a feud at the time, hence why they were having the match. And he was rooting for Randy Orton, so he was a real moke. And we just basically yelled at each other, "Let's go, Cena! Let's go, Orton! Let's go!" Back and forth like that. And it was, at the time, kind of fun, but slightly angering at the same time, because you're like, "Oh, you don't share my beliefs." Being an 8-year-old and a lot more stupid. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me right now. Not much in the way of going on. I'm helping my grandfather tomorrow, moving stuff from getting a bunch of laminate flooring, moving that from where they're getting it to the truck, and to a truck back into their house. So it kind of be a little bit of lifting tomorrow, which is gonna be fun. Probably gonna be sore on Sunday, but it's a good type of sore. Good type of sore, I think. What else? So yeah, if I'm getting these messages correctly from Curtis, next week is actually going to be a little bit of planning here. But next week, we are going to be doing that conspiracy episode that we kind of teased and kind of promised. That's probably going to be a little longer of an episode compared to the normal, like, hour 15 minutes. It's probably going to be like closer to 2, hopefully. Meghan is hopefully going to be hopping on board with that. My girlfriend and the producer of the show. Well, kind of producer. She's just kind of, whatever. Yeah. On the back on the note of hockey, as I kind of want to go back to that. Right now, how many people have clinched? There's only 3 people in the entire league that have clinched. Being Nashville, the Nashville Predators, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Boston. Fuck Boston, by the way, but fuck the Bruins. Okay. So yeah, they have clinched right now. From this wild card, who has a spot? Let's see who has a playoff spot as of right now. Other than the people who have clinched, obviously. So in the Atlantic, Tampa and Boston, as I've already said, have clinched, but first and second, respectively. But then there's Toronto in third, who is a good 5 points behind Boston. My boys, the Toronto Maple Leafs. 5 points behind Toronto. Boston. Next closest in terms of the Atlantic would be Florida, which are the only other team that have not been eliminated, other than the Leafs. Sorry, not been eliminated or clinched in the Atlantic. The Atlantic Division is really spread out. I don't know quite the clinching and elimination records for that. Florida lost the last one. How many games do they have left? They have... Actually, they have 10 games left, so... we have 8. So, they're at 81 points. Let's do some quick maths. They have a max of 101 points, while we have a max of quick maths. 8 times 2. That's 16. Well, that's shit. What is that? Quick maths. I like I said, I'm an idiot. 95. We have a max of 113 points. So quickest possible. If I'd say by the time we face each other at the end of that game, we should know if the Leafs are clinched or not. I think. So yeah, back to the Metropolitan and the Eastern Metropolitan Division. No one has clinched. In first place in the Metropolitan, it is Washington, then it's Pittsburgh, then Columbus in second and third, respectively. Washington has 93 points, Pittsburgh has 90 points, Columbus has 89 points, so it's a really close division right there. In the wild cards, no one from the Atlantic Division are in there. As I said, Florida's the closest. Being the wild cards are Philadelphia Flyers and the New Jersey Devils. Philadelphia had 88 points and New Jersey had 84. Florida at 81. So actually, based off of that alone, I can see Florida being in the playoffs, but it would take them to win a little bit because they have, I think, amongst the most games left in the season out of the division. Not say in terms of the, no, they have the most games left to play of the entire NHL. Okay, so yeah, so they have probably a decent likelihood to get a wild card spot, I think. Depending on who they're playing, of course, I don't know who they're playing. Then in the other side of the continent, the Western Central Division would be in first place, and the only team so far in the West entirely to clinch is the Nashville Predators, who the Leafs beat yesterday, my time, with 106 points in first place. Then it's Winnipeg with a decent bit behind. In second place is Winnipeg with 98 points, and then the Minnesota Wild with another chunk behind Winnipeg, 8 points behind them at 90 points. Oh, I didn't realize how dispersed the Central Division is. Oh, and the Pacific to be The entire West, it seems. Okay. In the Pacific, it is Vegas, which has been a surprisingly great season for the first season in the whole entire league. The Vegas is in first place in the Pacific with 100 points. Then San Jose Sharks with 7 points behind them at 93, and then LA behind the Sharks with 89 points, a good 4 points behind the Sharks. Then in the wild cards is Colorado with 88 points, which probably one of the most surprising comeback, quote-unquote comeback stories of the season, because of them finishing last by like a good 20 points or some shit like that last season. I mean, the Leafs did it a couple of years ago, finishing last and then going one of the wild card spots. But that was kind of to be expected, because they finished 30th and then got first in the draft. But Colorado did not get first in the draft. I think they just made a couple good trades maybe in the offseason. I can't quite remember. But yeah, they're in the first wildcard spot with 88 points. And then in second place in the wildcard spot for the West is Anaheim with 88 points as well. But the way that the win-loss records are, that's why Anaheim is in second. In terms of people who have been eliminated, let's go look in the East again. Who has been eliminated? Actually, a decent bit of people have been eliminated in the East, mostly in the Atlantic Division, being Montreal, Detroit, Ottawa, and Buffalo. I can say, yay, Montreal lost. As being a Leafs fan, I completely am completely happy that the Montreal is eliminated. Although I can say that it's a more friendly hate you guys, because it's. I think we said this in our first episode, the sports episode, is that I want the Habs to do well when the Leafs do well. You know what I mean? Because it's a rivalry that with any good rivalry, both teams are good, right? In any good rivalry, either both teams are really, really good or both teams are really, really bad to make it interesting. If it's like a complete stomp like it has been this year, then it's not as fun. I mean, it's nice to see them lose, but it's not as fun to see them lose if they're not that good. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Ottawa. Same thing for them. Then in the West, it's been Edmonton, Chicago, Vancouver, and Arizona who have been eliminated so far. So that is how many people is that eliminated? That's quite a bit of people eliminated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. Sorry, my bad. There's 8 teams as of right now that have been eliminated, compared to the 3 who have clinched, which will say something about the top of the league and also say something about the bottom of the league. The great teams this year have been doing amazing, while the bad teams have been doing absolute shit. So yeah. Let's get on from sports, as we'll probably be doing an actual proper another sports episode closer to actual playoffs, which, like I said, will probably start about mid-April. So we'll probably be doing, well, actually probably close to roughly mid-April, I'd say. But now let's move on to professional league, I guess, because playoffs, I believe, have started in the European LCS today. Today being Friday the 23rd, as we said. Let's see what's the scores board for today. Let's bring that up. Okay, yeah, there were a quarterfinal today. Another one tomorrow, being the 24th tomorrow. Splice. The team of Splice beat Team Rocat 3-0. They clean swept Team Rocat. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. By how good? Match one, Splice won obviously with a decent gold lead with about a 14k gold lead. 10 towers to 3, 16 kills to 5, which is a decent amount of kills for like total for a professional game, which you generally see about 10 or so maybe. So to get a lot of that for a professional game, that's quite a bit. 2 inhibitors for 0. Oh, this is all in favor of Splice so far. 2 to nothing for inhibitors and 2 barons for Splice. Oh, this is all on Splice, rather. Did I say that? I don't know. Like I said, I'm an idiot. And 2 barons for Splice to nothing. Although, Rocat had 3 dragons the entire game. Not the entire game, but managed to snag up 3 dragons the entire for the match, while Splice had 1. Rocat had 2 ocean drags and an air drag, a cloud drake. So those are those 3, and then Splice, after Rocat got those 3 drags, managed to pick up a mountain drake, which is quite a good one. The bands that Splice banned, the champions that Splice banned, were Kha'Zix, Azir, Grom, Anivia, and Galio, while Rocat banned Swain, Tahm Kench, Ryze, Olaf, and Vladimir. Splice picked Caitlyn, Swain, Morgana, Zac, Kassadin, while Rocat picked Xayah Rakan, Skarner, Talia, and No in the first game. In terms of looking at the net worth chart here, seemed to kind of back and forth for a while until about the 25-minute mark. Then Splice just completely kicked their ass. Game 2, Splice win again, and but another 14k gold lead for Splice this time. This one seems like a little bit more of a hard stomp, as it was 11 towers to 1. Then 13 to 2 in kills for Splice, just like the towers. And then inhibitors, they got 3 inhibitors this time, but at the cost of only 1 baron to 0 instead of the 2 that got the first game. There's only 2 dragons to take in the entire game, being a fire drake and a cloud drake for Splice. Both of them for Splice. Bans for Splice were Azir, Kha'Zix, Xayah, Skarner, and Olaf, while they picked, Rocat banned Swain again, Tahm Kench again, Sion, Galio, and Cassiopeia, while Splice picked Camille, Zac, Morgana, Jhin, and Orianna. Rocat picked Caitlyn, Thresh, Ryze, Sejuani, and Shen. And looking at the net worth chart again, holy shit, this was a stomp. About 7-8 minutes in, that's when everything really kicked off, it seems. I didn't watch these games today, as I was kind of busy myself today as well. The game 3, which was I should have mentioned the time for each of the games. Game 1 was a 37-minute game. Game 2 was a 29-minute game, and Game 3 was a 32-minute game. Game 3. Splice was up a good 13k by the end of the game. They clean swept them in terms of towers, 9 to 0. Well, not clean swept, they didn't get all the towers, but they got a lot of towers compared to Rocat's 0 towers. The kills were 14 to 5, inhibitors were 1 to 0, and Baron was 1 to 0. What is this? Okay. Rocat got the first dragon with a mountain drake, and then Splice got the rest, the other 3 dragons, with it being a cloud, ocean, and mountain in that order. Splice banned Kha'Zix, Azir, Xayah, Cassiopeia, and Jhin. Rocat banned Zac, Tahm Kench. They really don't like that Tahm Kench, do they? Morgana, Alistar, and Braum. While Splice picked Swain, Caitlyn, Camille, Trundle, and then Taric. Then Rokat picked Scion, Thresh, Olaf, Jinx, and Nivea. And then again, a slight bit of a comeback, it seems. About 10 minutes in, it looked like Splice was up by like a small bit, by about 1,000, 2,000 maybe. And then about the 18-minute mark, Splice just like kill switch, go, and then proceeded to win with about a 12k game gold lead. So, if you're interested in that, that's what happened today in esports. In terms of the EU LCS, there's no NA LCS today. That will probably be going on tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, rather. If you're wondering, Saturday, March 24th, which is yesterday for you guys, tomorrow for me, there was so I'm going to use past tense here. There was a game, a quarterfinal between Team Vitality, and H2K. I'm not going to put a prediction on that because I don't know. So the semifinals, the one semifinal game that is now determined is G2 Esports versus Splice. So the winner of the Vitality and H2K game will be up against Fnatic on next weekend. The weekend of the Friday the 30th and March the 31st rather. Like I said, I'm an idiot. So the NALCS, what about that? What's going on in the world of NALCS? So the quarterfinals starting on the 24th, you guys should know this by now. The finishing up of this game matchup would be the first quarterfinal game tomorrow, or yesterday in your case, will be Team Liquid against C9, Cloud9. Sunday, March 25th, so it should be the day of this going up, would be TSM versus Clutch Gaming. The semifinals, I think it would be the winner of the Team Liquid Cloud9 game would be up against 100 Thieves, I think. And the winner of the TSM Clutch Gaming one would be up against Echo Fox rather. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah. Yeah, okay. So in a world of basketball, really quick stint here. My Toronto Raptors just beat the Brooklyn Nets, I believe. Is that what they're called? Brooklyn Nets? Yeah, Brooklyn Nets. I'm not the biggest basketball guy, rather, not gay. I did not mean to say gay, my bad. Beat the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not the biggest fan of basketball, is what I meant to say. Brooklyn is doing absolute ass, it seems. 23-49. They're the 13th in the Eastern compared to the Raptors, who are 53-19. First in the Eastern. Okay. The final score was, if you care at all, 116-112. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of follow the Raptors, but at the same time, it's really only the scores I pay attention to. I don't really pay attention to the games themselves. So yeah, honestly don't know what much else to spiel on about. So yeah, as I said, I think closer to the beginning of the today's episode was I played a decent bit of League yesterday. How many games did I play yesterday? Let me just pull this up real quick. But yeah, I played a decent bit of League yesterday. Large ranked. I made a personal goal this season, this being season 8, in getting to silver. I have not made it to silver in a regular season So far this my playing quote unquote playing career. Uh, I've been playing since season 5, just after what's his name, Echo came out. So I've been playing for like a decent bit. Not as long as other people, but I've been playing a decent bit myself. I didn't play much in the way of ranked in season 5. I essentially did my placements, and then that's it. I got placed bronze 2 that season, I think. No, I got placed bronze 1. What? Bronze 2, I think. Whatever. One of the two, right? Um, didn't play much. Then got season 6. I got placed bronze 5. Didn't play much season 6 either. I got basically played enough, about 20 games, I think. Got to bronze 4. That's about it. Last season was season 7 was really the first one in which I really started to actually play. I think I got placed bronze 5 again. Got to bronze 1 before the season ended, I think. No, I ended bronze 2, I believe. So I'm already better automatically right now. But then I think I may have made it to silver in the postseason, but I can't quite remember. But this season I started, I got placed bronze 2, which is really good. I played about roughly 60 games in bronze 2 already. But as I said, I bronze 1 now, made it bronze 1 yesterday, the 22nd. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. How many? Jesus, 2 days. Okay, assuming this is all within 24 hours ago. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I played 11 games yesterday. Holy shit. Okay, I won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had a 5-game winning streak to end off the day, which is nice. But on top of that, I won 7 out of my 11 games yesterday, which is quite good, I think. In case you were wondering, my most played champion as of right now is Alistar with 14 games played and a 57% win rate, 3.64 KDA. My second highest is 11 games played on Xin Zhao with a 64% win rate, 3.31 KDA. And my third highest is Nautilus, which I've been playing a decent bit lately, with 9 games and a 67% win rate and a 3.72 KDA. So yeah, there's that if you're interested. If I remember if you want, which I'll do this anyways, but I'll leave my op.gg in the not the comments, but the description of this week's episode, and this week's episode only. So if you want to see it and keep watching it, my terrible games, and as they appear, come back to this one if you want. So yeah, I've been playing a decent bit of that. I have, if you're wondering my overall win rate for the season so far, it is 48%, because there's been a couple of champions in which I played a small bit about, but not won a whole lot of them. I have a 43% win rate over 7 games on Rakan. I got a 33% win rate over 6 games as Leona. 33% win rate on Braum over 3 games played, which isn't as bad, it's only 3 games. And then a 50% win rate on Bud over 2 games. So, yeah, not all of them are bad, they're all small games, so that's probably a small amount of games. But even still a bad win rate in those. So as you can tell, I'm a support main, largely by those champions. The only one that's kind of poking out of that pun intended, is Xin. And yes, I played Nautilus support rather than top or jungle. Yeah, I played. I call myself a support main, first and foremost, and then a jungle secondary. But yeah, I also play a lot of ARAM, if you guys are curious, which I don't know if you guys really care about that, about ARAM. I don't think many of the way people do. It's one of those game modes in which you just, you know what, I'm kind of tilted, but I want to play League more, so let's play ARAM. It'll hopefully calm me down. Seems to most of the time, but if we're like really salty or tilted from ranked, I tend to, if I have time to at the very least, I play a game of ARAM, which stands for All Random All Mid for those who don't play League, which is a game mode in which you get assigned a random champion, and then it's essentially teamfight simulator. It's all one lane, and you go constant team fights, constant chaos essentially. So as I was saying, I tend to, if I have time to, I go and I'm tilted or whatever. I tend to. I'm speaking way too fast again. My bad. If I'm way too tilted and have time, I'll play a game of ARAM, and then I'll log off. Whether I win or lose, I will log off after that, just so I can clear my head of League and just say, yeah, I'm done for the day, and I'm gone. So, yeah, if you guys play League at all, feel free to mention where you were at in terms of ranked, if you play ranked at all, at the very least. Where you are ranked wise, chances are you're probably a little better than me. Another question of the day, actually. Who is your favorite League of Legends streamer on Twitch? Could be anyone. Could be one of the people who get regularly, like, thousands upon thousands of views, or be someone who regularly only gets a couple hundred of views, or even someone who gets 8 views. No matter who it is, comment down below or tweet me at DravardMC, the D being capitalized, the MC being capitalized. So yeah, just kind of at me, you know, or comment down below, say, hey, Skara is my favorite, or hey, Aframu is, Cutie Pie is, you know, whatever. Comment below who your favorite streamer is, League streamer. Also, if you're a WWE fan, comment below who your favorite wrestler is, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or it doesn't even have to be in the WWE. If you pay attention to New Japan, tell me who your favorite New Japan wrestler is and why it's Okada. If you're a hockey fan, question of the day for you guys is who your favorite team is. Have you guys been eliminated yet? Are you kind of frustrated at your team? Are you clinched yet? Comment down below. Or tweet me. Either way works. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a slightly shorter one. Slightly shorter podcast. I think that's going to be clearing it up for this week. As always, I've been Matthew Churchill. This has been Useless Ideas Podcast, and you can follow me on Twitter at DravardMC, as I said not that long ago. You can follow Curtis Smith, my co-host, who wasn't here today, and again, sorry about that. Time constraints and so forth. You can follow him at Curtis_Smitty. You can follow Megan Kramer at Megan_Kramer. As always, the Twitter handles, if you need to copy and paste, will be down in the comments below. Sorry, in the description below. My bad. Yeah, and as I said, my op.gg for League will be down in the description as well. So, and as always, this has been Matthew Churchill. This has been the Useless Ideas Podcast. And we'll see you next week.